Diepkloof residents are expected to intensify their protests this morning if Eskom fails to meet the deadline that they've set. Community members gave Eskom 24 hours to reconnect their power after it pulled the plug due to historical debt. Residents have been in the dock for 2 weeks. eNCA's Nkosazana Dambuza is covering the story for us. Let's cross to her now live for an update. Nkosazana, there doesn't seem to be any resolution to this impasse. What are you seeing on the streets of Diepkloof?
So Diepkloof residents have started burning tyres and blocking roads in this area in protest against the electricity cuts by Eskom. So this all started when Eskom cut the power supply to this area on the 23rd of November and served customers with papers stating that each household needs to pay a 6,000 Rand reconnection fee for the power to be restored. But obviously the residents didn't take well to this. They've refused to pay a reconnection fee. As you can see behind me, they've taken to the streets in protest. They actually are denying any car access to these roads. Even us as the media, really, we weren't even able to pass through getting here. And just to give you more background, so officials from the Gauteng Premier's office then went to deliberate with Eskom and came back to the community to provide feedback 2 days ago, saying that Eskom had decided that the residents need to pay at least a 60% of the reconnection fee for the lights to come back on, but the community again refused and said that they're only willing to pay 30%, which I understand amounts to 1,200 Rand from each household, and that's because they say that's all they can afford. But they also say that they're not going to negotiate with Eskom in the dark, and that for negotiations to continue, Eskom must first switch back their lights on. And they gave Eskom 24 hours to get the power supply restored. We understand that those 24 hours have since lapsed, and the community yesterday I was told by one of the community leaders in Diepkloof that the community is actually planned to have a meeting today at 10 a.m. As you can see here, some of the community members are already out, and I would assume that they are just getting ready to have that crucial meeting. And then I understand that they will then be continuing to protest. They will be continuing to protest, calling on Eskom to restore their power supply. And the thing is now, these two parties, Eskom and the community, seem to be on different pages, because Eskom is blaming the community, saying that they've been causing illegal connections, meter bypassing, and purchasing electricity from ghost vendors. But the community actually blames Eskom and said that technicians came into the area 5 years ago and did not complete the work they were supposed to do of removing meters and installing the prepaid system, which would allow them to be able to buy electricity from Eskom. But I'm just going to talk to the local ward councillor, Brenda Dami. Thank you so much for your time. You know, we see that the community is still up in arms. They're continuing to protest. They've been doing so for a while now, and they are placing the blame on Eskom technicians. You know, what is your response to this? Is there resolve at this point? Are we going to see these protests continuing?
Thank you very much for having me. One, this is going to continue. Our community is still frustrated because Eskom is not coming on board. We have rejected the 6,052 Rand because of Eskom's doing. We cannot punish the community. We have said to Eskom, come and rectify your mistake, because some houses doesn't have meter. If they have meter, the keypad is not activated. You cannot blame them. The mayor have disappointed me, because mayor saying people are stealing electricity. Mayor decided to choose the side of the Eskom, decided to be Eskom spokesperson. She didn't decide to be the mayor of City of Joburg. Hence the community is so furious, because how can the mayor go on media and Twitter and say the people are stealing electricity? Our grannies cannot afford. I'm standing here, Sisi, to tell you that we have said to Eskom, let's work a win-win situation for all of us, the community and Eskom. People can only pay for the usage, because the people of Diepkloof never say they don't want to pay. They want to pay, but Eskom must give us account number, must give them the reference number. Right now we are busy assisting with the delegation Diepkloof Zone 3 to work out, because Eskom doesn't have a profile for their clients. That's bad. That's bad administrative of Eskom. Now we're saying give them, they want to pay, but they're not going to pay 6,000 Rand. They're going to pay for the usage. And then we spoke with them. They've changed attitude. People want to pay. We need electricity. We can see that business is low. And then everybody is angry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That is Brenda Dummy, who is a local ward councillor. As you can see, we expect the situation to intensify. When I spoke to Nhlanhla Lux yesterday, he was saying that the community is very much angry. They definitely will be intensifying the war against Eskom, as they call it.
I hate to see what will happen when those protests intensify in Nkosazana, but thank you for being out there and following that story. Our reporter Nkosazana Dambuza out in Diepkloof, where the residents are protesting against power cuts. Still ahead.